everybody, welcome to another episode of Through the Looking Glass. So if you're new to this channel, welcome along. Let me tell you what this series is about. In this series we take a retrospective look at a Transformers character and see what comparisons we can draw between each continuity. To be honest, the more they differ, the better it is for me. So today I thought I'd look back at the enigma of combination, and in particular the Constructicons. And yes, we'll be looking at Devastator too. Now there may be spoilers here when we're talking about the IDW Comics continuity. This is your warning. So let's prepare for extermination. The Constructicons are one of few bots to make appearances in every series of the Generation 1 cartoon, including the 1986 movie, although they didn't appear in the Return of Optimus Prime or the Rebirth series. Okay, we'll get this point out of the way because I know you're all dying to hear it. What is the origins of the Constructicons? Is it A, they were built by Megatron on Earth, B, they were brainwashed by Megatron on Cybertron, or C, they built Megatron? Look, each to their own, yeah? Personally, I go with A, they were built by Megatron. I mean, he built the Stunticons. The 6-bot team served many a purpose in both Series 1 and 2 of the Generation 1 cartoon, with Scrapper being the architect and leader of the team, but they also found time to give more identity and personality to the rest of the team too. Longhaul was a humping brute, Mixmaster was some kind of alchemist with all of his acids, and Hook was surprisingly well spoken.
But it would follow an uncharismatic boor like you! Hey!
Interesting enough, Scrapper, the leader of the Constructicons, forms the leg of Devastator. Now the leaders of the combiner teams tend to be the torso, but this is pre-Scramble City of course. Of course when they combined, things changed, and they became this singular-minded, destructive machine. Megatron had perfected the art of combination, giving the Decepticons a much-needed edge. Devastator is not like any of his individual team members, he is just raw size and power. Comes very handy on Decepticon missions. It forced the Autobots to make giant robotic dinosaurs just to draw even. In the Revenge of the Fallen film, the Constructicons would appear, but in different guises than what we're used to, in the fact that there's about 9 of them that form a rather different looking combiner. Now these weren't exactly referred to as Bob the Builder's can-do crew, and even their combined form was referred to as Constructicon. I mean, they're not even trying. But fans knew Decepticon construction machines forming a giant war machine can only be Devastator. For the brief bit of time that they're on screen, the 18 or so Constructicons that are there are not shown to have any individual personalities. They're just there to combine. The combined form does have a popular following in the community, more so than other figures, despite having some questionable memorable moments.
Directly below! The enemy scrotum!
Sadly, Red Dev construction doesn't last very long before getting Death Starred into oblivion. Oh, spoilers. The Constructicons had a prominent role in the IDW comics and made a fairly profound appearance in the All Hail Megatron series when the Decepticons came and ransacked Earth. It gave me one of my favourite images of Devastator just wreaking pure havoc. However, in a complete left turn, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Scrapper gets scrapped by Spike. I remember being absolutely shocked at the time, but I thought, this is the world of comics, no one stays dead forever. But still, they kept him dead, and this sadly left the Constructicons feeling quite rudderless. For much of the remainder of the first phase, the Constructicons became goons for hire, and would often look for other bots to replace their lost leader. At one painful stage, Prowl was forced to merge with them to form a rather different Devastator. Prowl within the mind of Devastator was a very confusing concept. There was still the brutishness of the Constructicons and Devastator forming this singular mind hell-bent on destruction, but now there's also an identity crisis as Prowl struggled within. But eventually the process was reversed and a new member joined the team. Hey Scoop, how you doing? The Constructicons are back in business, but they still felt like slow-witted henchmen following Starscream's lead through the Combiner Wars. In other appearances in the fandom, there seems to be more focus on Devastator than on Constructicons themselves. In the Marvel comics, they weren't given anywhere near as much presence as they were in the Generation 1 cartoon or the movie, and in the Combiner Wars series there is even less so. So in summary, the Constructicons have the pleasure of being installed right at the start of Transformers and remain a prominent feature. They're one of the few teams that you remember just as much as individuals as you do as Devastator. And there you go, that's the Constructicons through the looking glass. And I leave you to your appetite for construction. And I'll see you on the next one.